Welcome to another retro shelf video. This is going to be quite a long one as it's covering multiple annuals from Fusion Retro Books. So this year the Kickstarter for the annuals covered Fusion as the main annual with optional Crash and ZZAP annuals, and all of those were planned to be A5 format. There was a huge demand then from readers for an A4 format annual, and so Crash and ZZAP were turned into A4 as well. One of the perks on the Kickstarter was the Fusion Japan special, and that's arrived as well. So in this first part we're looking at the ZZAP A4 annual, just a quick flick through, and Fusion Japan. I've obscured the cover. A lot of people already know what it looks like. It's a classic Ollie Frey cover, but I don't want to spoil it for those who are opening at Christmas. So let's have a look inside. PC's Quest for Retro Books, Fusion Retro Books advert, the contents. A5 is the new A4. Roger, with Chris Wilkins going to meet Roger Keane and Ollie Frey. The team of reviewers, which includes me at the bottom here, and this is a mixture of content from the issues of ZZAP magazine published during the year and new content. So it's about 90 pages of used content, old content, and 30 plus pages of new. And so we start off with the cover disc, which is available as a USB cassette as well as a floppy disk, and so it's talking you what's through there, including a preview of Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition and Scramble Infinity, the full game. And I behold the demo. Perfractic with Was LCP the First AI and How to Hack It. My ZZAP review of Chicken. Review of Ghost Bunny. ZZAP to the first Christmas issue of ZZAP, Christmas Special 1985, 1986, and 1987, and 1988. I do love the 88 one, this huge issue with so much in it. There's some great games reviewed. Preview of A Pig Quest, coming from Antonio Savona and the Piggy 18 team. The Scorelord with some scores there. Run and Gun Mission 1 reviewed. Ian Osborne, The Time I Visited Images Software, looking at space gun conversion. Advert from Badger Punch. Playground Wars, Commodore 64 versus Spectrum. And the winner is Uridium on the C64. Looking back to Game Cover Crackers from 1983, Graham Mason as a regular feature. Another ZZAP review from me here, looking back at Lions of the Universe. And then from issue 1, my feature on the games of Cosmos Design, which I enjoyed writing. Preview of The Empire Strikes Back from Chris Stanley and Megastyle, as looking fantastic, amazing graphics. ZZAP creation from the artist Paolo Pomez, mocking up a version of Loom there. Shadow over Hawksmill reviewed. Soul Force, 95%. Great artwork, retro story. The Time I Visited Flair, so Ian Osborne went up to Newcastle, looking at Elvira 2. The Kickstarter for that film, The Rubber Keyed Wonder, was successful. Lele Relay reviewed. There was some interesting discussions behind the scenes on this. Ultimately, I never felt it was as good as the others. It's enjoyable, but it's not sizzler material to me. Bad Moon Rising. Freaky Fish DX reviewed. Don't Break the Balls. Again, I was slightly negative on that. Enjoyable, but not great. Space Firehawk, I liked it. Good fun. More cover game crackers from 1984, including the classic Space Taxi there. Retro Heaven advert. A kicks up the ass when they put a game on the cover tape that was not public domain. Matt Allen there, Mayhem, with his ZZAP review of Ice Guys, great little game from what would become Knights of Bytes. ZZAP Adventure section with Colin Bell. Reviews and news of recent games. ZZAP Rat with Lloyd Manningham. Simon Butler's Art Gallery. With some Christmas images. Jump Out and Kong reviewed. ZX Art. Great article on We Are Stardust, the hidden game on Lucas's vinyl album. It's also on the CD. It's a good game. I'm near the top of the leaderboard. Game reviewed, and the Cyberchip album there. Solus Special Edition. It was interesting. We ended up scoring the Special Edition higher than Solus 2. So, ZZAP creation again with Paolo. Recreating a scene from Arkham Asylum. Second part of the ZZAP Christmas ZZAP back feature, Christmas 1989. Turbo Outrun on the cover. Christmas 1990 with Chase HQ2 and Altered Beast. Christmas 1991. Games that weren't but now are. Paul Morrison here looking at Fungus 2, which wasn't released back in the day. Games that weren't tracked down. Carl Hornell and had the files on the website. You see there an advert for the Games That Weren't Book, which I can thoroughly recommend. There's a video on the channel, I'll link to that. And then it's a review of Fungus 2 because it's now being released through Bitmapsoft as a physical cassette. ZZAP sign off. Photos behind the scenes at ZZAP Towers. Advert for Polar Bear in Space. We reviewed that in the magazine. And the release was delayed. We gave some feedback, and a new updated version will be reviewed shortly. And some classic 3D voxel art from Mike Berry based on PowerDroid. And finally, an advert for the Gentleman's Pixel Club. So, one of the perks on the Kickstarter campaign was a copy of the Japan special of Fusion, the gaming magazine covering all sorts. And so let's have a look through Alan Hampton in the editor's chair. Fusion Fail is dating sims. And then Toy Polloy and Alan Hamilton looking at collecting in Tokyo, talking through how to do it, getting past the language barrier, what to eat, where to shop, feeling adventurous things you can take. Fusion loves Sega Arcade's Namco World, the arcade game centres, Lunar Silver Star Story Complete, the biggest selling JRPG that you've never heard of. That's a piece by Tristabytes, the YouTuber. Fusion Fail, UFO Catchers. Love and Fail, that one. Good when you can get a prize, bad when you can't. What is Pachinko? Tango Bunny opens the door into the world of pachinko parlours. I saw some of these at the Retro Ball back in 2005, which was part organised by Chris Wilkins of Fusion, and there's very confusing little metal balls. Move down through the flippers, try and get it into scoring points, get more balls, swap the balls for prizes. The Fusion Guide to Japanese systems you've never heard of. Johnny Blanchard there with the Epoch Cassette Vision, Sword MS8, Hitachi, Shark Twin Famicom. Keeping the Dream Alive, Japanese exclusive shooters on the Dreamcast. And of course, Dreamcast still getting new games. And then this is my contribution to the article, Bit Generations, the experimental series of games on the Game Boy Advance, the precursor to some of the WiiWare games. And some of the titles were remade for WiiWare. So there's 7 Game Boy Advance cartridges, all in these very stylish boxes. and they were available at mid-price. So we have Boundish, Colorist, Dial Hex, DigiDrive, Bitstream, Orbital and Sound Voyager. And so that's my look back at the games and all about them. Plastic Japan, a snapshot of Japan's toy history, Ultraman there. And an advert for the Rubber Keyed Wonder documentary from the makers of From Bedroom to Billion. So that's the end of this part of the video. Next we'll have a quick flick through the other annuals. So it's time to unbox the rest of the Fusion annual packages. And in here we have the actual annuals themselves. So we have a Merry Christmas card from Fusion Retro Books. We have the enamel Olibug badge, which is one of the things I was looking forward to as a part of this campaign. Another copy of Fusion Japan there. We've got the ZZAP 64 cover disc, which includes the full game Scramble Infinity, Demo 2 of Robot Action, Hex Demo 3, Munchkin 64 Demo, ZZAP Christmas Demo, Icon 64 Christmas Demo, and Open Your Eyes. So in here we also have ZZAP Amiga issue 1. So I'm part of the ZZAP Amiga team. That's been a lot of fun to put together. We're currently working on issue 2 as we write this. So it's the same A5 format as the other. Hello from Sven from Blackpool Amiga Club. Preview of Jackal in the Amiga Jam game competition, and there's Devil's Temple from Graham Cowie on the way. Review of Tiny Bubble. Game covers from 1986. Advert there. Terrorhawks, my first review in this issue. Piece from Going Course. Bullfrog Productions. And unfortunately we seem to have a printing problem here. Oh wait, this is actually a sampler, isn't it? Yes, so this is a sample of Amtix issue 1 at the back and Amiga issue 1 at the front. So, sorry for the confusion there. So I'm going to put the ZZAP annual to the bottom. What have we got in here? Here we got another ZZAP cover disc. Didn't realise I was getting 2 of those. We have the ZZAP Crash Fusion pen. And now it's time for Fusion Annual 2022. So have a quick look through this. Got some more articles in here. Fusion loves Area 88, known in the UK as UN Squadron. Simon Butler reviews Hunt Down, 10 out of 10. Crash cover. Justice League games over the years. That moment when finally completing Manic Miner. Retro Obscura with Johnny Blanchard, looking at Computer's Links. Alex Kidd in Miracle World with Trista Bytes. Philips G7000 or the Odyssey. Barry Morse from the Retro Shed looks back at that. Terrorhawks, there we go, that was the game that was just converted to the Amiga. I've got Fusion Japan, Master of the Universe, bizarre action figures. Some of the stranger characters there. The laser clay shooting system, early system from Nintendo, went into the bowling alleys that had closed in Japan. F-19 Stealth Fighter on the PC. The Hunger Games. John Hamblin talks about his experience with food, his health and games. Sensible Tales to Cambridge. Fusion Fail, Sword of Sodan on the Amiga. The Fusion Gallery of awful game cover artwork. Golf on the C64. Mega Man. Dancing Monster, terrible game. Kong on Commodore 64. Death Sword by Amtix. Quartet on the Master System there. Viking Raider, Shoot the Rapids. Killer Kong on Spectrum, Rainy Day Games. Fusion Loves, this is another piece by me. Metroid Prime Pinball, I do like that game. Return of the Obra Dinn, an insurance adventure with minimal colour. Simon Butler loves that, 9 out of 10. Another Sensible Tale from Stu Cambridge. ZZAP 64 cover. Classic 4 Platoon, drawn by Ollie there. Games Chart Flashback, it's a regular feature in Fusion. PlayStation chart from November 1998 with a cheat at the end. Chris Hawkins looking at the modern Rubik's Cube. Fusion Loves Bayonetta on the Retro Obscura IQ, the IQ player. Censored, I'm going to skip over those pages because there's some violence and adult images there. Fusion Fail Afterburner on the ST, there weren't many good home versions of there. The US version for the C64 is better. Playground Wars, Bombjack on the Spectrum versus Commodore 64, and the Spectrum is definitely the better version, although there's a new version coming soon. The T-Rex appears in Tomb Raider The Lost Valley, and then my Blood Bowl feature, looking back at the board game, and then the computer games, and some other games that are play in a very similar way. Have a great bit of artwork there, and then Deja Vu, haven't I seen you somewhere before? Toy Polloi looks at toys that were reused and recast. And that's it for the Fusion Annual. We'll put the ZZAP one out of the way. We've seen that in the A4 format. So, like with the ZZAP Annual, some of this is material that was in the issues and some is new. Review of Solo, Crash Christmas, looking back at Christmas specials, the Crash interview with Evgeny, Russian Spectrum expert, Brick Graveyard Shift from Warren Martinez, Sinclair and Accelerated, games that are better to play when you accelerate them on the next. Crashback Review, Metamorphosis, Crash investigates Batty and what really happened, Escape from Monjas, Playing Tips from Nick Roberts, another link to the past, Ninja Carnage, also out on the C64 and Amstrad, The Crash That Almost Was Not, an issue that didn't make it, almost didn't make it, Colin Bell's Adventure Trail, Delta's Shadow, amazing game on the next and the original Spectrum, Software House Capers, Ultimate Play the Game, piece on collecting their titles. Obviously the ROM versions are more expensive and harder to find, and the brilliant Collected Works compilation. Miles Merritt, Alienation, Simon Butler's Screens, with a festive theme. Crash Chat, talking to Steve Weverill. Last Train to Trans Central, Ninja Poison, Down the Pipe. Bikers on next, just got a recent update. Crash Investigates, Minor Willie Meets the Taxman, and then there's Megatree, the C64 game. That never was. Sinclair's ZX Spectrum next. Look at It by Craig Turner, talking about it. And the hardware, Looks like a great in-depth piece there. Wonderful Dizzy gets the Crash Smash. Atomic Cat. Crash investigates Outrun Europa and the scandal of the faked screenshots. Crash covers from 1982. My Mare. Travel Through Time, Volume 1, Northern Lights. Amazing racing game. Looks amazing. The Spectrum Portuguese Revolution. Alien Girl. Crash. Ian Osborne talking about when Lucy Hickman took over and what happened at the end of the magazine. Crash Christmas 2. Back at more specials. And that's it. So that's all the goodies from that. Merry Christmas from Fusion Retro Books. And I'll see you in the next video. Remember to like, share, subscribe, leave your comments below, and keep it retro.